Hello once again, lovers of great video games. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my white room. Now, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Xbox 360 game, Tomb Raider. Now, this game was developed by Square Enix. It is honestly one of the best games I've played in a very long time. It has its own problems, but it's also got some really great features. So, here we go. Just really quick, I'll be talking about the very ending of the game, at least story-wise. After the credits, that'll only be a minute or two because the ending wasn't immensely unique or anything, so it's not a lot to talk about, but I'll be talking about it. Just know that, and then there might be a few spoilers here or there about the story. Nothing really major, but just know that. So, I'll get right into it. This is basically Lara Croft's origin story, and we see her start out on the Endurance. It's this giant ship. She's going off to find this ancient civilization that her friend Sam is apparently an ancestor of, and this all happens in the very opening scene of the game, so this isn't really a spoiler. The ship gets caught in a storm, it crashes, Lara gets separated from everyone else because she gets kidnapped, and she basically has to survive, find the rest of the crew, and figure out what's going on with this whole debacle. Obviously there's way more besides that. That's just a very broad summary of the whole thing. Yeah, that is essentially the story in a very broad nutshell. In terms of graphics, the graphics are amazing in this game. There were times where there were cutscenes going on, and then they transitioned into the in-game gameplay very fluently. There were times where I was surprised that, oh, it's like, oh, hey, I'm playing now. I have to pay attention when I was watching a cutscene. So, yeah, in terms of graphics, they're just astounding. I expect nothing less from Square Enix, and they delivered very nicely. In terms of gameplay, the gameplay is phenomenal for the most part. In terms of fighting, you have 4 major weapons. You have your bow and arrow, which you can upgrade. You can upgrade all your weapons. I'll get to that in a second. You have your bow and arrow, you have your pistol, you have your shotgun, and you have your assault rifle. Those are the only guns that you have in the game, and it's really not that bad of a thing because it's very simplistic. You upgrade these guns, they work very efficiently and do the job as they are. You get to kind of figure out how to use all these, you figure out what situations work best, and all that type of stuff. There's also executions that you can do. There are melee attacks that you can do with your pickaxe, and use the pickaxe to scale higher areas more easily. In terms of collectibles, there are about 7 or 8 optional tombs throughout the island that you are on, and you go through these. These are scattered throughout the campaign, honestly. I got through pretty much all of them. I think I missed one by the time I was finished with the game, but I found most of them just progressing naturally through the campaign. They're very simple to get through. It's basically one puzzle, and then you get the treasure. And I only had to look up how to do one of them because I was just so stumped and I couldn't figure it out. And yeah, so do the optional tombs because you get some nice stuff from it. There's also documents. These are actually really cool. These are scattered throughout the game, and with each document it has the person who wrote the document, their voice saying what they wrote. And so 2 sets of the documents are of people from the Endurance, so your crew members. The rest of them are from people throughout the island. There's one for some people who are part of the cult that is on the island. There are people from World War II, and there's people from the ancient civilization that were here, or that were on the island. Just hearing that type of stuff is really neat to do because you could read it one way, but the way that it's actually said makes it 10 times more incredible. So there's that. There's also relics throughout the game, which is kind of cool because it gives you a little piece of history. Me being a history major, it was kind of a cool thing because Lara speaks about each of the pieces of relics that she finds, and there's also GPS things that you find just throughout the game. And there's also challenges in each different area. These can be kind of frustrating to do. I'd use a walkthrough for most of them just to kind of find all of them because it would have been way too frustrating to just walk around and try to see one little thing in this whole map. So that was cool. In terms of upgrading, you get experience for doing a bunch of things. You get a lot of it just naturally progressing through the story. And then just finding a bunch of things, killing animals, killing people. And when you do executions, you get a lot more experience, about 60 experience points. And you're basically upgrading your skills. You have Survivalist, you have Hunter, and you have Brawler. And those are the 3 categories that you can upgrade. There's about 10 or so different abilities that you can unlock. You master them instantly, and then you move on to the next one. So, yeah, I felt that system worked actually pretty well. And after you finish the game, you basically get to do a lot of open world stuff. You just basically explore the island and finish up whatever you didn't finish. And I found it to be really simple to get the rest of the skill points that I needed to max out that. Because as I was looking for documents and relics and all that stuff, it just kind of showed up naturally. And then you also upgrade your guns. And that's what you use your salvage for, which is scattered throughout the map. And that's basically your money system, and that's what you use to upgrade your weapons. There's a ton of other things throughout the gameplay. All of it works really, really well. I'll get to a few of the things that I thought could have been different or worked better in the enjoyment section. But in terms of gameplay, it worked really, really nicely, really phenomenally, and I really enjoyed it. Now, with the enjoyment, as you can tell, I really, really did enjoy this game. A few things that I thought of that could have worked better. There's no sprint button in the game, which kind of annoyed me. So you either have to kind of fast walk, or you just roll, jump and roll, which can be kind of annoying. And then also when you get an achievement, or I'm assuming when you get a trophy, the game kind of glitches a little bit. Just kind of lags a tad bit, so that can be kind of frustrating at times. And then it's also kind of glitchy at various parts of the game. I just kind of noticed, like there was one point after I finished the campaign where I was walking through a tunnel, and just the floor kind of gave out for about 5 seconds. It was just like, it was gone. It was just white, and then it popped back up. It's just kind of stuff like that that could be kind of frustrating. I did do the multiplayer, like 1 or 2 matches. I didn't really enjoy it. I'm not really a big multiplayer person, and myself, having got the game in May and tried to get into it at that point, it doesn't really work because the servers aren't really being used as much, so there's not as many people, and most of the people are already really high leveled, and so you're not really going to have fun if you're just starting out from scratch. Yeah, besides those things, I really, really enjoyed this game. If you can't tell, I highly recommend it if you like Tomb Raider. I really hope they make a sequel to this game. One part that I did actually enjoy more than I actually thought I was going to enjoy was there being no story-based achievements or trophies. At first, this kind of annoyed me when I realized this, because I wasn't getting achievements for anything I was doing, and then it actually allowed me to enjoy the story much more than I probably would have otherwise, because I wasn't just doing stuff to get this achievement or that achievement. I was playing the story to enjoy the story, and I basically got through almost half the game, actually over half the game, in one sitting. And because I got so engrossed in it, and it was just so good. So the fact that this game had no story-based achievements besides just the completion of the game, I thought that worked really well, and I kind of hope that other games kind of follow suit with that. They probably won't, but I would really like to see that more often. And so yeah, that is my review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. I will be talking about the ending to the game in about a minute, and that'll be really quick. And so yeah, as always, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, my good people, keep on gaming. And if you're still watching, you're here to watch me talk about my thoughts on the ending to Tomb Raider. For the most part, the ending was actually pretty satisfactory. It could have been a teensy bit better, but besides that, it was actually pretty good. So after, or at the very end of the game, we have Sam. She's taken You're basically going in to save her. Whitman is a jerk because he took her to her. I thought that he kind of got his just desserts. He kind of got betrayed by the main bad guy, whose name I am blanking on completely, and gets kind of chopped up by the Warriors. I thought that I played the game on easy, so because there wasn't really any reason not to, and it allowed me to enjoy the story more. So with the final boss fight, it's the huge warrior guy. It's really not that difficult. You kind of just dodge, shotgun to the back, dodge, shotgun to the back, dodge, shotgun to the back, and then execution. You do that 3 times, you're good. So the final boss fight is pretty simplistic. And then the trigger sequence with the final boss guy where you have to take him out, that was actually kind of cool to see. But I don't know. Otherwise, the ending, I thought that it was a good ending for the story that it was. The story was just phenomenal, and I thought the ending tied it up really, really nicely. So, yeah, I like the fact that at the very end, Laura says that she's not going home. So it kind of gives the possibility of a sequel. I really, really hope that they make a sequel to this game. That's my thoughts on the ending. I thought that they did a really good job with it. Leave any comments on the game that you have down below. I would love to hear them. Maybe you didn't like the game as much as I did. Maybe you did even more. I'd love to hear that. So, yeah, as always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and as always, keep on gaming.